Your B12 supplement is not protecting you. For millions of seniors over 60, it is making things worse. There is a specific interaction happening inside your body right now that your doctor has almost certainly never tested for, and it is quietly raising your risk of heart disease, nerve damage, and memory loss simultaneously. In the next 14 minutes, I'm going to show you 4 medications that cancel B12 completely, and the one switch that restores your levels within 30 days. I had a 67-year-old patient, fatigue, brain fog, irregular heartbeat, 3 symptoms her doctor had been treating separately for 2 years. We identified one root problem. 8 weeks later, her cardiologist took her off 2 medications. Stay with me to number 4, because the thing silently destroying your B12 levels, it is not a medication your doctor prescribed. You bought it yourself, and the label is lying to you. You clicked because you take B12 and you want to know if it is working. Here's the answer most doctors will not give you directly. For the majority of seniors over 60, especially those on any daily medication, it is not working. Not because B12 is the wrong choice, because 4 specific medications are systematically dismantling your ability to absorb it. And one of those 4 is the supplement itself. Let me show you exactly what I mean. Here is the one thing you need to understand before we go through the list. B12 absorption is not automatic. Your body runs it through a 2-step security system. Step 1, your stomach acid strips B12 away from the food or pill it came in. Step 2, a protein called intrinsic factor acts as a carrier. It grabs the freed B12 and escorts it through your gut wall into your bloodstream. Think of it like airport security. The acid is the scanner. Intrinsic factor is the boarding pass. If either one fails, the B12 never gets on the plane. It passes through your body and exits unused. Now, here is what nobody's telling you. After 60, your body naturally produces less stomach acid and less intrinsic factor. The security system is already weakened. Add one of these 4 medications on top of that, and the gate closes entirely. Let's go through them, starting with the one affecting the most people in this room right now. Start here, because statistically, this one is in your medicine cabinet right now. Metformin, the most prescribed diabetes medication in the world, taken daily by tens of millions of seniors, and almost universally prescribed without a single word about what it does to B12. Here is the number that stopped me cold the first time I saw it. A 2010 study published in the Archives of Internal Medicine followed over 1,500 patients on long-term metformin. Nearly 30% showed measurably depleted B12 levels. Not 3%, not a fringe finding. Nearly 1 in 3 people sitting in their doctor's office right now with a B12 problem their doctor is not testing for. Here's why it happens. Metformin blocks specific calcium-dependent receptors in your gut wall. Those receptors are what allow intrinsic factor, the boarding pass from our airport analogy, to attach to B12 and carry it into your blood. Metformin jams that mechanism. The boarding pass exists, the gate won't scan it. And here is the part that makes this genuinely dangerous. The symptoms of B12 deficiency, fatigue, tingling hands and feet, brain fog, heart palpitations, are nearly identical to the symptoms of poorly managed diabetes. So your doctor sees those symptoms and thinks the diabetes needs better control. They increase the metformin, which makes the B12 problem worse, which produces more symptoms, which leads to a higher dose again. When was the last time your doctor tested your B12 specifically? Not your general blood panel, the actual B12 number. If you are on metformin and you cannot answer that, that is the first call you make after this video. The solution is not to stop metformin. For many people, it is doing critical work. The solution is to test, monitor, and supplement in the right form, and I will show you exactly how at the end. But metformin is just the beginning, because the next medication was specifically marketed to you as safe for daily long-term use, and that marketing is the problem. Look at your medicine cabinet tonight. If you see omeprazole, lansoprazole, Nexium, or Prilosec, this section is specifically for you. Proton pump inhibitors, PPIs, prescribed for acid reflux, prescribed for ulcers, prescribed in millions of cases as a long-term daily medication with no end date on the prescription. Here is what the prescription never included. Your stomach acid is not just for breaking down food. It is the primary mechanism by which your body frees B12 from whatever you swallow, food or supplement. B12 arrives in your system bound to protein. Stomach acid breaks that bond. Once broken, intrinsic factor can carry the B12 into your blood. PPIs suppress stomach acid. That is their entire job. They do it effectively. But when you eliminate the acid, you eliminate step one of that two-step security system. The B12 arrives, the scanner is off. Nothing gets freed, nothing gets absorbed. A 2013 study from Kaiser Permanente, analyzing over 25,000 patients, found that those taking PPIs for 2 or more years had a 65% higher risk of B12 deficiency compared to non-users. 65% higher risk after 2 years of daily use. And for seniors specifically, remember the natural decline in stomach acid and intrinsic factor I described in the mechanism? A PPI does not create that decline. It compounds it. You are already working with a weakened system. The PPI suppresses what little acid remains. I tell my own family this. If you are over 60 and you have been on a PPI for more than 6 months, request a B12 test at your next appointment. Ask for the number, not is it okay, the actual number. Now, I need you to stay with me for number 3, because one of my patients did everything right. Stopped metformin, switched off the PPI, started supplementing. Still came back with dangerously low B12. I have never seen another channel address this the way it needs to be addressed. Daily aspirin, the heart-healthy habit, the one hundreds of millions of seniors were told to start years ago and never told to question. 1 aspirin every morning. Protect your heart. Simple, safe. Here is what that advice left out. Chronic daily aspirin use is associated with microbleeding in the gut lining. Small, persistent bleeds that accumulate over months and years. Most people never feel them. Most doctors never look for them. But here is what those bleeds do over time. They trigger low-grade inflammation in the gut wall. That inflammation progressively damages parietal cells. And parietal cells are the only cells in your body that manufacture intrinsic factor. Not reduce intrinsic factor, manufacture it. Parietal cells are the factory. Aspirin, taken daily over years, is associated with stress and damage to the factory that makes the boarding pass. No boarding pass, no B12 absorption, regardless of how much B12 you swallow. Now, I want to be precise because the research here is still developing, and I will not overstate it. The evidence supports a link between long-term aspirin use, gut wall inflammation, and reduced intrinsic factor production. This is not a guarantee of deficiency in every person, but for seniors already dealing with naturally declining stomach acid and intrinsic factor, it is an additional pressure on a system that is already under stress. And here is the combination that should genuinely concern you. Many seniors are taking aspirin and a PPI together. The aspirin irritates the gut. The doctor prescribes the PPI to protect the gut from the aspirin. The PPI eliminates stomach acid. The aspirin damages parietal cells. B12 absorption collapses from 2 directions at once, and nobody connects it to the B12 bottle sitting next to both of them on the nightstand next to the bedside. Pause right now. Go pause this video, walk to your medicine cabinet, and look at what you are taking together. Count them. I will be here when you come back. That combination, aspirin plus PPI, is far more common than most doctors acknowledge, and it sets up the final medication on this list perfectly, because the last one is not a medication that was prescribed to you. It is a solution you chose yourself.
And for most of you, it is failing silently.
If you only remember one thing from this entire video, make it this sentence. The form of B12 in most supplements is biologically useless for the majority of people over 60. Read that again. Not less effective, not slightly suboptimal. Biologically useless for most seniors in the conditions created by natural aging and the 3 medications we just covered. Go get your B12 bottle right now. Look at the form listed on the label. I will wait. If it says cyanocobalamin, and for the majority of you it will, here is what that label is not telling you. Cyanocobalamin is the synthetic form of B12. It is cheap to manufacture. It survives shipping and storage better than other forms. It is in roughly 90% of supplements sold in every pharmacy, grocery store, and online retailer in this country. And it is not the form your body actually uses at the cellular level. Before your cells can do anything with cyanocobalamin, your liver must convert it into one of 2 active forms, methylcobalamin or adenosylcobalamin. That conversion requires functioning liver enzymes, adequate folate levels, and a metabolism operating efficiently. After 60, and specifically if you are on metformin, a PPI, or daily aspirin, that conversion process is measurably compromised. Here is the dinner table fact I want you to repeat tonight. You can have normal B12 on a blood test and still be functionally deficient because the test measures total B12 in your blood, not how much your cells are actually converting and using. A 2017 review published in the journal Nutrients examined B12 absorption across different forms in older adults with reduced gastric function. Methylcobalamin showed meaningfully better tissue retention and neurological availability compared to cyanocobalamin in populations with compromised absorption, which is the clinical description of virtually every senior on this list's 3 medications. This is the part that changes everything. You may have been supplementing B12 for years, every single morning, and still be deficient. Not because you were not trying, because the form you were sold was not engineered for your biology after 60. Now, here is exactly what to do. Switch to methylcobalamin, not cyanocobalamin. Look specifically for a sublingual form, meaning it dissolves under your tongue rather than being swallowed. This is not a minor preference. This is a mechanistic difference. Sublingual methylcobalamin enters your bloodstream directly through the tissue beneath your tongue. No stuff. Let's do this together right now. 3 steps. Do them tonight. Step 1, medication audit. Pull every daily medication out of your cabinet, set them on the counter. You are looking for 3 things specifically. Metformin, any diabetes medication, any PPI, omeprazole, lansoprazole, Nexium, Prilosec, pantoprazole, and daily aspirin, including low-dose 81 milligram aspirin. Write down everything you find. That list goes with you to your next appointment. You are going to ask your doctor one specific question. Not, is my B12 okay? You are going to say, given what I'm taking daily, when did you last check my B12 level and what was the actual number? If your doctor cannot give you the number, request the test. Step 2, supplement audit. Find your B12. Check the form. If it says cyanocobalamin, set it aside. Tomorrow, go to your pharmacy and look for sublingual methylcobalamin. It will cost roughly the same. The bioavailability difference for someone over 60, especially on any medication we covered today, is significant. Place it under your tongue each morning. Do not swallow it. Let it dissolve completely. Step 3, the 2 tests. Request a serum B12 test and a homocysteine test at the same appointment. Write both words down right now, B12 and homocysteine. These 2 numbers together tell a story that neither one alone can tell. B12 shows you the storage. Homocysteine shows you the function. You want B12 above 400, not just above the lab's flagged threshold. You want homocysteine below 10 micromoles per liter. You might want to save this video for this section. Come back to it before your next appointment. If you want more of this exact kind of walkthrough where I take you step by step through what is actually happening in your body and give you something real to do, subscribe. I show up every week with exactly this. Let's bring it together fast. Metformin blocks the gut receptors that allow intrinsic factor to carry B12 into your blood. Nearly 1 in 3 long-term users is measurably deficient. Proton pump inhibitors eliminate the stomach acid your body needs to free B12 from food and supplements. 2 or more years of daily use raises deficiency risk by 65%. Daily aspirin is associated with progressive damage to parietal cells, the only cells in your body that manufacture intrinsic factor. Combined with a PPI, it creates a 2-directional collapse in B12 absorption. And cyanocobalamin, the form in most supplements, requires a liver conversion that aging and these medications compromise. Switch to sublingual methylcobalamin. Get your levels tested. Know your number. Ask for homocysteine alongside it. Which of these 4 are you currently taking? Tell me in the comments. Not which surprised you most, which one are you actually on right now? That answer matters to me, and it helps everyone else reading the comments know they are not alone. Now, those 4 fixes handle the absorption side of B12 completely, but there is one additional factor that can override all of it, even after you make every switch I described today. It is a genetic variant called MTHFR, and it affects roughly 40% of the population. It directly determines how efficiently your body activates B vitamins at the cellular level. Most people have never heard of it. Most doctors never test for it. I made a video that explains exactly what it is, how to test for it, and what to do if you have it. Watch it next, because if MTHFR is a factor for you, everything we covered today becomes twice as important.